This is Jerome Kern tune of the week, number 13. The song is You. This is a good one because, well, it's a good one for many reasons, but it's good for us guitar players because a lot of good guitar players, or great guitar players, have recorded this one. Joe Pass, Wes Montgomery has a pretty obscure recording of it, and what's his name, Jimmy Rainey recorded it. And my favorite guitar version of this tune is by Grant Green, so make sure that you listen to that one. I feel like I don't have to explain anymore how to do this. This is like this number 63, I guess, in the tune of the week. But we play the melody, then we trade solos, then we play the melody again, and then we talk about the tune. So yeah, let's get right into it. The backing track is from YouTube. I found this one. It's called Song Is You, chord progression, backing track, no piano. So if you type in Song Is You, backing track, no piano, this one comes up, and the channel's called Backing Tracks Jazz. So it's pretty medium up, pretty fast, I guess. So yeah, let's go. I'll take a chorus. Your solo. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There was your solo there, but the backing track was shorter than I was hoping. So you can always go back and do it again. And I mean, practice with the backing track, practice with iReal Pro. I didn't use the Abersold for this one, even though it's in the Jerome Kern Abersold, but I didn't like there are different changes there, so I preferred these changes. These are close to what Grant Green is playing. So again, the idea of this video is not to get to the bottom of the original version or anything like that. I'm looking for a set of changes that are most likely played when you go to a jam or something. And these changes are from the new real book with slight variations. The idea of trading solos is that, you know, that I might play something that might inspire you to do something differently, but of course you should practice along with the backing tracks once you learn the tune. So it's a pretty long form. I guess it's 64, so here's a little bit. The rehearsal marks says A, B, C, D because they're rehearsal marks, but you could say that it's A, B, A. Even though the melody is slightly different, it's not really the same. So in the strict sense, it's not A, B, A, but it's kind of that. But the C section is quite different. It goes to an E major there, right? So here, right off the bat, we have this thing where the melody goes, and the chord symbol in the real book says C major 7. But if I play C major 7 and the melody playing, it's gonna be. So it's better to think of that chord as a C6, because this is not an extension, right? Like it's a leading note. So sometimes they just put those C major 7 as a kind of generic symbol for major, but as an accompanist, you need to be aware of that the melody is going. So I can't really play that chord there. I could play a C6, and then just drop. Here is how I want you to practice this. You take a metronome and set it to 2 and 4, and then you play the root and the 7th. Of each chord. Now play the melody and try to play those chord stabs, the root and the 7th, when in the spaces of between the melody, the phrases. Here. So here is how Grant Green ends the tune. Not just at the end, but the end of the melody. He goes something like this. Repeats that. This is great exercise. It's a great exercise to get in the habit of playing those chord stabs between the spaces, so you can do that when you solo as well. It's like, you can think of it two different ways. You can think of it like a piano player is doing with the other hand. They're playing the licks here and then the chord stabs like that, right? More or less. Or you could think of it as a big band where Frank Sinatra is singing the melody and the horns. So I don't worry about voice leading or anything. I'm just playing the root and the seventh. So this is the Kurt Rosenwinkel idea, right? You could play the root to the seventh, or it could be the the third and the fifth. So it's like I'm taking a chord like a D minor 7, and I'm either playing these two notes or these two notes. G. Right? So there are some really good versions by guitar players. Grant Green, as I said, is really good. And the way he treats those chords, it's interesting. It seems to me, I'm lifting the solo a little bit, he's not really playing diminished over that diminished chord. Seems like he's thinking A7 there too. And this is something, you know, it's just like rhythm changes. It could be this. But it could also be this. Right? It could even be... So if the rhythm section is playing one of those and you're thinking of another and soloing that, as long as your lines are connected, and so you don't always have to play exactly what's on that chord, the chord symbol on the page. So it says E flat diminished. But if you're thinking A7 and your line is like, you know, strong, it's, you know, it doesn't matter. It's not, that's a mistake that beginners, they think that everything they play have to be exactly the correct scale, that over the proper chord scale over the, yes, when you're practicing, but when you're actually playing, yeah, that doesn't work like that. So he's even playing like when the E minor 7 comes, he's playing like, you know, his kind of stuff, and then that kind of stuff. So E minor, he's thinking E minor. A7, he's thinking E flat. So yeah, so listen to Grant Green. That's a great solo to transcribe if you want to understand how to play bebop guitar. This is a tune that is one of his more famous tunes. It's from a musical, I can't remember the name of it, and it's also from a movie. I think they made a movie just after it. And this is a very famous tune, and do you have to know every Jerome Kern tune in the world? No. But if you're gonna pick a few that you should learn, this is one of them. This should be on that list of tunes that you should know, because this is a good one. And it's a very famous jazz that many jazz artists have recorded it. And it's also associated with Frank Sinatra. So it's a good idea to listen to Frank Sinatra because he sings the melody straight. So that was, the song is You. Hope you liked it. I shall see you next time.